Mark Rogers TV back with you, the voice of college football, and to look at UCLA with the Bruins going to spring practice starting next week. We bring in Mike Regalado from Gojo Bruin to talk up Chip Kelly and the rest of the crew there. So, Mike, I hope you're doing well with the Pac-12 tournament in basketball just about a week away, and the Bruins squarely on the bubble, I guess.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a good thing that there is spring football coming up soon to take my mind off of that. But yeah, we'll see how UCLA basketball does.
So we were starting to talk before we recorded that Chip Kelly brings this wild card factor. So you've gotten into a groove with Jim Mora coaching for 6 seasons and kind of knowing how the approach would be, his philosophies on offense and defense, although he switched up on offense at one point or tried to. But with Chip Kelly, he very much has a philosophy. So you were talking about trying to match up the roster in the depth chart with, okay, knowing Chip Kelly, especially on offense, loves to do A, B, and C, and trying to make those matchups and those projections on who's going to be better for this Chip Kelly style of offense. So let's start at quarterback in terms of what's coming back and how you see that competition.
That's going to be interesting. We started our spring practice position group previews, and didn't exactly have a depth chart because we don't know exactly who's going to play what position, especially at quarterback. There are potentially 4 quarterbacks that are vying for the top spot. And honestly, I have no idea who is going to, be the starter on day 1, September 1st. A lot of people are saying that Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the 4-star dual threat quarterback from Bishop Gorman, is the prototypical Chip Kelly quarterback. Great arm, great legs, but he's not going to participate with the team until fall camp. So coming up in spring practice, we have a Washington transfer, KJ Carta-Samuels, who's more of a pro-style quarterback. Good, strong arm. He does have legs, but it's going to be interesting to see how what his talents bring to the team in Chip Kelly's offense. And then you have Devin Motster and Matt Lynch, who have they have a tendency to play a dual threat quarterback. They can get out of the pocket when needed. They can use their legs to get a few extra yards. Pretty strong arms, but definitely not what Josh Rosen is. But Josh Rosen, great pro style quarterback. Who knows if he was to come back, what he would do in Chip Kelly's system. But right now in spring there are 3 guys: Motster, Lynch, and Carta-Samuels. I would have no, I still don't know who to choose, who would be the top guy. I would say Motster, just because he had the most reps with the offense last year, backing up Josh Rosen. But then Carta-Samuels was, he's a grad transfer. He's had 3 years under his belt. I think he has 2 seasons two more seasons of experience over Motster. So, and he was backing up Jake Browning, so that's also a really good quarterback to learn from. So both of those guys might be the top 2 choices, but Lynch, I think he might be the best runner out of all of them. So if that's what Chip Kelly's looking for, he has a lot of tools in all 3 of those players.
Chip Kelly's offense denotes speed. That's the first thing we think about. Fast players in space, really quick players, get on the edge, make it go, run the plays as many as possible, get out there, and obviously wear out the defense. The thing that gets underestimated is the running game. Chip Kelly always loved to run the football and always had a potent running game. That's something UCLA hasn't had in recent seasons, and that would be the thing that is going to be one thing I'm going to look at and say, let's see how much of an effect Chip Kelly's offense has on the run game and the productivity there, because the offensive line is a unit that has a ton of question marks, and obviously the running backs mostly are coming back, but they haven't been as productive as needed recently. So it's going to be interesting to see how that Chip Kelly run offense takes off.
Yeah, it's definitely, based around the run. So they're going to have to get their offensive line up to speed. They went from a spread to a pro style to a hybrid. So, this team kind of knows a little bit of everything. At least the older guys do, but there has to be some consistency. And Chip Kelly should be able to bring that into this team. And they just hired a new offensive line coach, their old one. I'm blanking right now. Hank Fraley actually did a really good job last season. The season before that, UCLA was near the bottom in rushing yards. UCLA improved by, I think, 35 yards, which is not great, but considering where they came from, it was definitely progress. Now the guys that were in that system still seem like they had trouble getting yards, but each of them have specific purposes. And Chip Kelly went out and got 2 really fast running backs on signing day. But they're not going to be available to a fall. I don't think either one is an early enrollee. But either way, what they have right now, the 2 top veterans, Sosa Jamabo and Bolo Olorunfumi. Jamabo, I could actually see him as maybe a hybrid player, both running back and wide receiver. He's a tall guy. He has that frame for a receiver. So I would not doubt a couple specialty plays for him. Maybe going out as a receiver. Olorunfumi, he's more of a power back, and he will be he could probably excel in the zone read, running up the middle, those type of run plays, as well as Jalen Starks, who was actually brought in as a fullback. And Chip Kelly doesn't necessarily use fullbacks, so to see a big guy like that, what Chip Kelly is going to do. Do they maybe move him to tight end, which it seems that's another position that Chip Kelly is going to heavily utilize next season. But they also have guys like Brandon Stevens. And Demetrius Felton, who was surprisingly very good in the run game, having a couple runs last season. So he definitely has options there too. It just depends on how how Kelly wants to use them and in what capacity. First down, second down, third, goal line. It just depends. But he has a lot of tools to work with.